This is for you, Majin Buu! It's from the people of Earth! Spirit Bomb!
What's going on, guys? MariK here, back with another Dragon Ball Super deck profile. Today we have the deck that we took to our tournament this weekend. We actually tied for first place with this deck. The deck ran a lot better than I expected it to, especially considering we swapped a few things around last minute that I wasn't quite sure were going to work out. Spoilers, they kind of didn't. But we went our second time in a row with this beautiful bastard, Vegito. The only reason we ran this leader is because he makes all Goku and Vegeta red, blue, and green. We never use the auto to place a card from the top of the deck in the drop area. If it's red, gain 5,000 for the turn. We never do that. 4 less life, draw 2, and awaken into Fusion Warrior Super Saiyan Vegito. Now, unlike when we played the Vegito deck with the Vegito leader, this time around we actually got to take advantage of his auto where he gains the 5,000 at double strike if you have 10 or more Son Goku and Vegeta in your drop. It's kind of weird that it turned out that way, but believe it or not, it did. We hit it at least twice that I can think of off the top of my head, maybe 3 times, I'm not sure. But I was pretty impressed with how well the deck handled, given the very limited amount of play testing we had with him. The first card, of course, with any Goku deck is going to be 4 Kind Saiyan Son Goku.
Oh yeah, that's kind of a long story, but
When you play this card, look at the top 7 cards of your deck, choose a blue Goku and add it to your hand, and thanks to the Vegito leader, all your Gokus are blue, so you don't have to worry about that. Now, this is actually the first time that I have run this particular card since I tried to run Vegito when Set 2 first came out, but it worked out a lot better in this deck. We ran 4 Bundle of Curiosity Son Goku.
Huh? Hey guys, how did you guys know that I was coming?
Basically, you just play him and you draw a card. It doesn't seem that great, especially for a 2 cost, but it worked really well. Then we ran 4 Preface of Recovery Son Goku. He was really easy to play alongside the Bundle of Curiosity, just because you hit 3 energy, you play Preface, you reset 2, you play Bundle, and then you draw a card, and you've got 2 Gokus out on the field. Doesn't really serve for a whole lot of benefit, otherwise it's just more bodies on the board, more attacks that you can dish out, but they don't really help with the main objective with the deck, which mainly focuses around full power Spirit Bomb Son Goku. He's 5 cost 25,000. He's got double strike, and when you play him, you draw a card and then choose one of your energy and switch it to active mode. We came up with this idea when the Tournament of Power stuff was revealed. I think we actually mentioned it in one of our Tournament of Power reveal videos. But I really wanted to build this deck and center it around this Goku card specifically. His activate main says choose 2 cards in your life and add them to your hand. This card gains 10,000 power for the duration of the turn. Now, him being a yellow, we don't have any yellow energy in the deck. So you're probably wondering how the hell we played him. But since Vegito turns him into a blue Goku in all areas, then we run it with this, Rebirth of Justice, which says choose up to 1 blue battle card in your hand with an energy cost 5 or less and play it. Then choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to their owner's hand. So for 4 energy, you get to play the 5-drop Goku, who then also resets one of your energy. So essentially, you get to bounce one of their cards for free, draw a card, and if you can, take 2 of your life, which gets you a +2, and then you can potentially awaken if you're not already. Really, really solid. For some reason, we just didn't draw the cards together as much as I would have liked. We did get the combo off a couple times, and once you do, you take the 2 life, you give him the boost, and then you EX evolve him, into Ultimate Spirit Bomb Son Goku.
Adios.
He's a 25,000 that you EX evolve for 1 blue energy, and you discard 2 cards from your hand. You evolve it on top of a blue Son Goku with energy cost 5 or more, which that's where the yellow Goku comes in. He's also blue because of the leader. He's got double strike, and his permanent says your opponent can't activate counter against this card's attacks. That is really big, especially when you are able to, you're pushing for game with him. And his auto is what made me want to play him in the first place, which says when this card attacks, choose up to 5 battle cards in your energy area and combo with them. 9 times out of 10, we had at least 4 or 5 to combo with, and at least 4 of them were plus 10,000s. So he was getting up there hard. I mean, we won almost every game with this card today. And what's crazier is we actually didn't even get to EX evolve him, but maybe once. I think every other time we had to hard cast him for 7 energy, which is crazy. But once you play him, your opponent can't counter, so they can't activate negates, they can't activate Topo, and then you just run into them, you combo all your shit away, and by that point, it's make or break. You either win or lose. But you're not really going to do it unless you know you can win with it. Then we had 2 late-minute additions to the teams. Literally, last-second thought that I added to the deck. 2 Kaioken Son Goku. He's a bit gimmicky, but you can EX evolve him for no energy. So he works really well with Ultimate Spirit Bomb when you throw all your energy at his attack, and then you can EX evolve into Kaioken for no energy. You just discard a card, and you evolve him on top of a blue Goku 7 or more. So Ultimate Spirit Bomb. He's got double strike, and when he evolves into that card for the duration of the turn, you cannot lose the game, and your opponent cannot win the game. The reason for that ability is because Activate Main says, choose 2 cards in your life, add them to your hand, and switch this card to active mode. So it lets you attack with Ultimate Spirit Bomb, EX evolve into Kaioken, use his ability, put him back to active mode, and then he's going to gain, depending on if you played him right, you can gain the boost that the Full Power Spirit Bomb, the 5-drop yellow one, gained, and then he's starting at 45. But again, that wasn't really the case. I think we played this card maybe once, and every other time it was just charged. Really wasn't worth throwing in there, but I thought we'd give it a try. Then we ran 2 Master MariK, the Mysterious Warrior. I really am starting to believe this is the #1 staple Overrealm card. I used to believe it was Time Patrol Trunks, but getting that extra draw versus getting to KO multiple battle cards, this just seems like a better card overall with the state of the meta. So you overwhelm him if you have 5 or more in your drop, and you just tap 1 energy. He's got double strike, and when you play this card with your overwhelm, choose any number of your opponent's battle cards without blocker, for which the total cost adds up to 5 or less, and send them to the warp. So not only do they not get KO'd, they literally go to the warp, so they can't be overwhelmed later. Really solid card, literally the veggie killer. Then, because our leader is red, we have, of course, ran Double Shot Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta again. It's a really good card to run, and even if we didn't have the energy open to combo him, he's another 10,000 that we can just charge. He counts as red, blue, and green energy, and he is another 10,000 to go along with the Ultimate Spirit Bomb. Then we've got 4 Divine Aid Vados. She's our super combo. 4 less life, draw a card, 10,000 power. Now, we ran 2 Strategies of Universe 7. I thought, okay, all of our cards are going to be red. All of our Saiyans are going to be red. Everything except for the Master Saiyan. All of your Gokus are going to be red. So I thought, Strategies of Universe 7 would be pretty good. It's not. In theory, the card sounds extremely good. On paper, it's amazing. But in practice, it's just better off as a side deck card. I thought, okay, well, we'll main deck too. We never needed it. Never. Every time I drew it, I was extremely disappointed because it was a literal dead card that I just couldn't play. And even charging it didn't help because in this deck, I don't want to charge extra cards. I want to charge cards that have combo power that I can combo away with Ultimate Spirit Bomb. Then we ran 4 Cabba's Awakening. a super underrated card, and honestly, I cannot believe that people don't run this card more, especially if you're running a red leader or mono red. Like, this card is just so good. It forces your opponent to combo extra. It allows you to not have to combo as much. Like, that 6,000, that 1,000 difference makes so many of your plays so much better, and people just don't see it coming. Then we ran 4 Senzu Bean because literally, why not? This card actually allowed me to do some really crazy shit today. It's a little camera shy, just doesn't want to focus. But anyway, great card, obviously. The permanent 5,000 for the turn and then resetting an energy is just invaluable, and if you can run it, you really should be running 4 of them. And then lastly, 4 Unending Awakening. It's your negate. If your leader is a red Saiyan, it gains 5,000 for the duration of the turn, so it's like another Senzu Bean. I literally combined this with a Senzu Bean on my Awakened leader at one point, and my opponent couldn't touch my leader with any of his cards without having to waste resources to combo, and it just shut down his whole turn, and he literally just passed. Today's tournament was a bit interesting. There's usually a bit more diversity. But so round 1 we played against Super Saiyan 3 Red Aggro Goku. Basically just, you know, your generic Red Aggro stuff, your Pan, your Quick Rush Trunks, Kabas, things like that. However, he did play some things that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. He did play Chain Attack Trunks into not Zeno, but instead into the Tournament of Power 3-drop Majin Buu. So that kind of caught me off guard a little bit. The thing that really got me was the red Bobbity that he played at 6 energy and then shit out a Jiren and a Super Saiyan 3 Ghost Tanks. Really wasn't a lot I could do. I was unprepared for it, and I was a dumbass and forgot my side deck, so even if I had some options, there really wasn't any I could use, and it sucked. It hurt pretty bad. Round 2, we played against our God Squad teammate, also running Super Saiyan 3 Red Aggro Goku. Although he wasn't running the Bobbities and the Jirens and stuff like that, he was running more of a kind of like you would run in a Pan GT deck. And he ran stuff like Miraculous Comeback Ultimate Gohan, which I think is another underrated card, and that card just, it gives me so much trouble. But we ended up taking the victory there. And then round 3, we also played against Super Saiyan 3 Red Aggro Goku. And like I said, I'm used to a little bit more diversity. This was kind of crazy. I wasn't mad about it though. It was just kind of like I was like, really? I got to go through this a 3rd time? Because it is a stupid good deck. Like, red is already aggro enough on its own to be able to start a turn early and then get the energy reset at the end. Like, it's just, there's a lot of shit the deck can do, and it's a good matchup. It's definitely challenging, but he didn't want to attack us at all. He didn't want to awaken us, and so I chose not to awaken him either, and I instead focused on killing his battle cards. And I literally waited until he drew into Kabas, and he attacked me, and he couldn't get his ability with Kaba to awaken himself without awakening me as well. So I forced him to awaken my leader if he wanted to get his own awakened as well. I was not willing to give him that extra card advantage, especially when I could just sit there and KO over any dude that he put on the board. So now, had we remembered to actually bring our side deck, our side deck was a little interesting. It was really just kind of a bunch of ideas I threw together that I thought might work. I don't know if they would have. Didn't really get a chance to test them. But the first card was 3 Bad Ring Laser. Because since we played the yellow Goku, and we always ended up charging at least one of them, it gave us 1 yellow energy that we could play the Bad Ring. And then we had enough, I felt like we had enough yellow cards that I had 1 to discard as well. For the ability, so we ran 3 of those in case I really needed them, which I did with all the negates and the topos, and I just didn't have them. The second card we side decked was Bursting Energy Super Saiyan Vegito. The reason being is we've got all these Gokus in the deck, and then we've got the Vegeta that just comes out. And the thing with him that I really like is you get him out for 4. He's got Double Strike. You can take a card in your life and then choose up to 2 energy and switch him to active mode. So not only does that allow you to make more plays, but you can kind of self-awaken yourself if your opponent isn't willing to do so. And so it kind of gave you another option. I actually wish I would have played this in the deck instead of the Kaioken Son Goku. I could have actually, I had situations where I could have played that Vegito, and I had the other Goku. So if I, would have had the Vegito instead, I could have actually played it. Then we also had 2 Hyper Rush Super Saiyan Blue Vegitos. The reason for this being the same as the Bursting Energy, except he is a 5 cost, so he's a little bit higher, but his ability is a lot better as well, and he would be like a good finisher if you couldn't get the Goku chain off. Then, since all our energy is blue, to Mafuba, I still feel like the card is kind of underrated. Not that anybody goes, oh, Mafuba is bad, but it just doesn't seem to see a lot of play anymore. I personally like it. I would like to run it more than 2, but I don't know. I feel like I'm somewhat limited on side deck space. We also run 2 Courageous Heart Yajirobes. I think if we were to run 4 Mafubas, the Yajirobes might come out. Having a good revenge blocker is nice. But we also have other ways to get cards off the board that are just harassing us and causing us issues. And then we side deck another blocker, Shun Shun, the Protector Majin. She's a 3 cost 15,000 blocker, and when this card is attacked, if your opponent's leader is red or blue, which all 3 of our opponents played blue leaders today, it gains 15,000 power for the duration of the turn. So it's a 15k blocker. I don't know why it doesn't want to... There we go. It's a 15k blocker that becomes a 30k blocker. That's a lot for your opponent to have to combo, and if you stop the right cards, like, you can really kill some of their power plays. And then the last 2 cards were Haru Haru Attacker Majin, another card that I feel like should always be in your side deck no matter what you're running, because obviously your opponent's going to have a red, green, blue, or yellow leader unless they're running black, and if they are, then you've still got 11 other cards you can side deck. Why does this... There we go. But she's 15k with crit, and when you play her, if your opponent's leader is green or yellow, you choose 4 of your energy and switch them to active mode. So she basically comes out for free, and you get a free energy back, which is really nice, especially with the way this deck likes energy manipulation. But all in all, it was a lot of fun. We had a pretty good day today. The deck played a lot better than I thought it would. Just some choice cards kind of need to come out, such as the Kaioken Gokus and the Strategies of Universe 7. The Gokus just need to come out altogether. The Strategies go to the side deck. Maybe I'll put in 2 of the Vegitos, or who knows, maybe I'll main deck the Bad Ring Lasers just to make sure the attacks get through. But at that point, if I'm not running the Kaioken Gokus, then the Ultimate Spirit Bomb is the final attack. So I'm not really sure what I would do there. But that's going to do it for this deck profile. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to hit that like button down below for us. I know we had a good number of people were asking us to do Vegito leader decks, and I had actually spoken to a couple of viewers who were wanting us to do Goku specific decks, and honestly this leader just seemed to be the best leader to do it with, because we can run all of the best Gokus without really having to fiddle with energy so much. Yes, the leader does allow you to be a little bit lazy with your energy, but honestly it's just so much easier that way. But I want to thank all of you guys for your support on the channel lately. We just tonight actually hit 700 subscribers, which is just fucking awesome. And the support you guys have had, the conversations I've had with a bunch of you in the comments, just talking about the different cards, the new upcoming stuff, different stuff we could do with the decks, talking strategy. It's all been a really awesome time, and I love having these conversations with you guys. So if you have any suggestions for the deck or anything that you had tried out and found successful, let me know in the comments below. Like I said, I love having these kind of conversations with you guys. But with that, we're going to go ahead and get the frig out of here now, and so we'll see you guys in the next video.